science over the past number of years that I've been, reviewing and attending, like the ISSN, looking at some key enzyme systems in the muscles. And I don't know if you've heard of these, but you will, and hopefully find these pretty interesting and fascinating. But they are these kinase systems. One area is called this AKT mTOR. Another name for mTOR is called rapamycin, which is a protein kinase. It's an enzyme involved with protein synthesis, and it also stimulates this mRNA, this messenger RNA called P70 ribosomal S6 kinase. Now, why these are so important? Because this really drills down to the molecular level in terms of protein synthesis. When you activate and upregulate these enzyme systems, it's anabolic. It kind of gets to the essence of, yeah, I want to increase protein, I want to increase muscle mass, hypertrophy, things like that. But, now the science is so sophisticated, even at the molecular level, looking at even upregulating certain genes. So, it's fascinating to kind of look at, yeah, this is really going to activate and upregulate these gene and enzyme systems for anabolism and protein synthesis. And actually looking at the area on what stimulates this AKT mTOR and P60, and it's in one of the activator blends, primarily leucine. And, we've added our Cx3 blend. It's many, actually, formulas within a formula in a complete blend. Another very exciting area are called heat shock proteins, and HSPs. You may have seen these on other products. These are molecular chaperones that actually aid in the transport of proteins within the cell into cellular compartments for protein synthesis. So these are like chaperones that actually escort amino acids and intracellular protein components for anabolic and protein synthetic pathways on the ribosome and things like that. What's fascinating about heat shock proteins, or these chaperones, is that, they stabilize proteins. There can be alterations in pH during exercise. The muscle becomes very acidic. We've addressed this in looking at the science behind extinguisher and the buffering effect of beta-alanine, but, this will also, be a factor here during high-intensity exercise. You're looking at oxygen deprivation and stress. And left uncorrected, the proteins will misfold. They do not fold properly and form aggregates that may actually kill muscle cells. So heat shock proteins are really critical at the cellular level to make sure that the proteins are folded correctly and that they don't do anything negative to the protein cells. And we put together a blend. Again, these are all science-based, and you can look at all the key references. This is not smoke and mirrors, and this is not hype. This is really true science that we've been able to look at and find to support these different, pathways. And clearly, heat shock protein support and activation in the blend, looking at glutamine and the glutamine peptides, bilberry, schizandra, rhodiola, and peonia. There are studies, there's very interesting and elegant studies showing that. The other main blend in this is the GLUT4 activator, and GLUT4, this stands for glucose transporter 4. It's an insulin-regulated transporter. It's protein found on the cell membrane, and this really activates and forces and drives very quickly carbohydrates into the cell to stimulate protein synthesis. And it's a fascinating transporter, and, we put in compounds, primarily banaba leaf, and this is standardized to contain 1% cortisolic acid. So it's a very, 1% cortisolic acid in the standardization, and also promoline, which is a fenugreek extract. And this is a patented ingredient that specifically contains this 4-hydroxyisoleucine. There are other fenugreek extracts, like the one we have, with Testofen, but this is not standardized to this 4-hydroxyisoleucine, which is critical to stimulate this. So what we have here is a very interesting product that has ingredients that stimulate heat shock proteins, this AKT mTOR, and the kinase systems, and along with the GLUT4 activator blend, along with the hydration, which of course mixing in water, and a complete electrolyte blend. Now the electrolytes are sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and chloride. And, we do have a complete electrolyte blend in the product, which is very important. So what we've done, from the science and what the muscle needs post-exercise and recovery, and looking at even at the gene and enzyme level to activate these to really get the maximum tools in the muscle, delivering them and assisting them to get into the muscle cell for maximum protein synthesis and anabolism and recovery. It's a very interesting scientific product.